Okay, we're on air. Happy Thursday, everybody. Today is February 16th, and we're going to do a quick run through on development tasks for Backdrop CMS. So to start, just to give you guys a quick update, the PMC has been working on setting up a policy around how we'll handle sponsorships, which we don't yet have, but particularly in exchange for pro bono work. And this is a particularly contentious issue that's come up several times in the Drupal community. And we wanted to make sure that we had a policy right from the outset so that if we do have people who are trying to do in-kind trades, we know how we feel about that and how it's going to work. So it looks like we have a consensus on that, but we are working on finalizing the language of that policy. So hopefully we'll get that ironed out in the next week and we'll be able to update everybody with that then. Since last week, we have done a little bit of outreach. We sent another newsletter, which it was good. It was announcing the release of Backdrop 1.6. And the reason that only went out recently is because we wanted to do our first bug fix release 1.6.1 before that was sent, which we did, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. And we also have purchased new sweatshirts to fill some gaps in our stock sizing. And so we've got them. If anybody needs a large or an extra large or an extra large, let us know. We have them if you were waiting to pick them up. So the website's been updated with the new sizes, so anyone who wants to buy them from the website can. We are also traveling to Sand Camp this weekend, and if anyone wants to try on a nice, warm, soft, fluffy hoodie in person, San Diego is the place to do it. Okay, so backdropcms.org is probably where we're doing the most activity right now. We've got a new homepage design, and I don't know, we had a design call at noon where we wanted to talk about it, but I don't know if you could do a super short summary of where you are, Luke, with that now. I know you had some problems with getting the repository all sorted out initially, but
yeah, I'm basically just starting.
Okay.
I've got, you know, I've caught up with sort of the basic process pieces, and I'm ready to come back for you know, I've actually started on the process right now.
Okay, that's great. Let me know when you get to a point where you want feedback or have questions or anything, and we'll take it as it goes.
Okay, well, I'm at that point. Can I talk with you after the call?
Yep, that would be great.
Alrighty.
Okay, so we're also working on a bunch of subdomains for the Backdrop community at large. The forum is something that we've been waiting for 2 years now, and I'm really excited that we're finally working on it. I had a task last week to figure out bakery module, and I am working on that. I've been working on that this morning. I think we're kind of close. It's not working, and I'm trying to figure out exactly why and fix it, but it looks like it should work. So I feel like we should be pretty close on that one. But we do need to make some decisions about architecture on the actual forum site, eliminate the stuff we don't want, and then move forward with the stuff we do want. I haven't checked that issue since last week on the architecture decision, but I'll do that after this call and we can move forward. Daniel, I know you had some thoughts on forum. I don't know if this is a good time for you to weigh in on that.
Yeah, I have a bullet list on the CMX website. How do I send the link here?
So if you want to post it,
send the link into the group, just in the chat area.
Hangout, there should be an icon on the left-hand side with a little like square chat window. And if you click on that, it'll open up a chat in a sidebar.
Yes, I have it here now. And there's a title, and then there's a link.
Okay, great.
It's the post that is at the top of the first sidebar on the front page there. There's a bullet list about the forum. Maybe everybody can have just a quick look, just a few words there. I would like to to do something that is kind of tactical, something that would not only solve the need to get the forum up and running for the internal discussion, but something that at least, even if we're not finishing any of it, we can write it down as a perspective so that we can start tempting people to come in here with something cool. I would like to discuss how we can actually solve some of the things that everybody is struggling with, no matter which solution they are using. Not just the features thing, but maybe, for example, from the perspective of information overload. A CMS is a content management toolkit, and now everybody is getting more and more information, more and more things to read. We cannot. When I go to websites and I see a very large post, I don't have time to even read it. I have to browse through it. Sometimes I don't. It's too long, so I don't even bother starting to browse through. So I am thinking in terms of if we could develop some kind of a multi-layer thing, a little bit like what we are doing in the project and the project issue in the queues modules over at the Drupal.org. So I'm curious on if we could actually figure out if it's possible to merge the whole, to do that forum via abstract, not a content type thing, but abstract it out and see if we could merge everything and let comments be everywhere, and then provide a multi-layer how do you say, GUI, so that first you get a summary, then you click and you get something more, and even with a premium community, if you have this and that role, you can drill down 5 layers. And if you look at the media today, the media is trying to convince people that you should not have all the news for free. But what they're doing is that they're doing it, in my opinion, the exact opposite way of what they should be doing. They should be utilizing the pain that we have with information overload, and instead of protecting all the content, they should actually pour out all the content and put only the summaries and the quality comments behind paywalls. And we could possibly develop something like that, where we have this kind of mix and match thing that can provide summary versus bullet list versus full content. And then it's up to the site exactly how they want to mix, how they want to order those levels. And if we can come up with a good solution for that, suddenly we are also very unique. Suddenly Backdrop becomes a topic of interest for very many other people, not to recruit programmers, obviously, but for a lot of decision makers, a lot of project managers, a lot of people can come in and help fund the development. So that's from a tactical and strategic point of view. That's my main interest here.
Yeah, I think that definitely raises some good points. Like, there are a bunch of common issues that come up with forums, and it would be great if we could come up with consistent solutions to them. I think in terms of our forum, because we don't have any users and any content yet, trying to imagine a problem and come up with a solution for it now might be a little premature, just because we don't actually have the problems yet. And so I think that what we should do is launch this minimum viable product forum, get some people using it, look at the problems that start to emerge, and then solve them one by one as they come up. I think there is often an issue of information overload. Like we see that in the Drupal.org issue queue. We see that in our own issue queue with comments that get really, really long and posts that get really, really long. And that is a problem that needs to be solved. But I don't think it needs to be part of our MVP just because we don't have any content yet. But we should definitely put it in the issue queue, and we should talk about potential solutions to that. And some of them might be something that, you know, could be a good solution for core long term, but I think short term, just trying to figure out like how to solve our problems on our forum is the right way to go. And then turning those into contrib modules and moving those into core might be a down the road sort of.
Those kind of solutions doesn't necessarily need to be in core, but it would be nice if core can make some description about what the kind of things that core would enable to build.
Yeah.
And then just point to contrib modules. But these kind of short, small statements give people some perspective, and to tell people that these are the things that actually they can come here and discuss with us, because there are people in our community here that actually are working on these things to solve them. So I'm not suggesting that we should put everything that I just said in core, but strategically we should start thinking about communicating these kind of perspectives to tempt more people in here and contribute.
Yep, those are all great ideas.
And I will be writing about it on the CMX and on my blogs. So I will link. What I would like to know is where I should actually put these links and put these updates when I do them. I'm not entirely sure how to actually communicate with Backdrop yet.
Do you have a GitHub account?
Sorry, I didn't catch you.
Do you have a GitHub account?
I have.
I think that this list should go in an issue there, because most of us monitor that list there on GitHub and see how these bullets that you have there relate to, so that we can reply to each one of them and discuss for each one of them. I think that the best thing is, now that you've put the thing together, perhaps you start an issue in the queue and then describe what it all is about. And you can turn that into a meta issue, so that we know it needs to be branched out, so we can.
Yeah, I did this one. I just posted a link in the chat here. That's what I did last week. I put it in the issue queue.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Good.
And I don't know if that's enough, or that is the right place, because I didn't get any feedback. So I was starting to wonder, where should I put it, you know? But I also realized there are not a lot of people. So there is not a lot of, we need to actually, mostly this is now kind of a developer community, right? So I'm kind of on the side talking more about contrib/strategy, not so much about coding. So I feel like maybe there isn't, maybe this will all be solved when we actually get the forum up and running, you know.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I saw the thing, but it was started as a comment on another issue, from what I see. Maybe that's why.
Mm-hmm.
What I meant is not to post a comment about this, but start a new issue with all these bullets. And then I haven't been personally around the forum queue, but you could start a new issue and declare it. I'll guide you through how to do that after the meeting is out, personally.
Can we just, what should that issue be called? What is a good approach or title for that issue? You actually...
You can decide. You can decide.
Yeah.
And titles can be edited, so if you change your mind later, you can.
Right.
All right. Well, I will go and take a look at that forum queue later today. I just wanted to get bakery worked out because that's issue number 1. I'd like to get that one resolved. And I'll see what else is going on. I'll take a look at your bullets, Daniel, and see what of that we've already considered and what maybe needs to be added to one of our to-do lists.
Just keep in mind that I'm not talking about core. I don't really, I don't make the distinction about what should be or not should be in core. I just want to get my ideas out and then sort them out, and we can shove them into whatever contributor or future.
Okay. Well, this will be specifically in consideration for the backdropcms.org forum itself. But that's a good place.
That is, by definition, that is core, right? Now.
No, that's just our website we're building.
Yeah, but it's a module, or is it core? Whatever we.
Neither. So we don't have a forum module. We're in core. We don't have. So this would just be what we need to build for our own website.
Yes. Right, and then whatever works there is up for decision. So whether to be included in core later or in the contrib.
Right.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
Okay. So other things we've been working on. We have a new translation server website. Jeff, do you want to give us an update on that?
It's a it's a website, and it's ready for some initial prodding by probably Gregory and Olaf Grabinski, and flesh out some issues and start writing them in there's a GitHub issue queue in Backdrop Ops for localization. So if you find those issues, put them there, and we'll start solving those.
Great. So how about an update on Backdrop CMS itself? Neat.
Yay. So lots of great news. As Jen mentioned, we sent out the mailer talking about 1.60 coming out, and that's because we got out the 1.61 release on this past Sunday, so February 12th. And so with 1.61 out, yeah, we did all kinds of things. We pushed to Pantheon. The upstream repository was updated. So if you spun up a Pantheon website based on Backdrop with our upstream, that's now updated. Jeff updated the Docker images, and yeah, we're in a great spot with 1.61. The next bug fix release is 1.62. And the 1.62 release, we don't have any critical items stacked up yet that would initiate or demand another bug fix release. However, there are a bunch of items that are already slated for 1.62, and you can get the full list of them by checking out the GitHub issue queue at Backdrop Issues, and then the 1.62 milestone. So the next thing to talk about is the next minor release, which is Backdrop 1.7. And Backdrop 1.7 will be coming out May 15th, 2017. And we've got a couple of items here that we have slated for the 1.7 release that are of note. 2 issues regarding substantial enhancements to the layout module, page element blocks, which is issue 1704, and layout relationships, which is issue 2134. There hasn't been any activity on those issues, though, so I'm just going to say go to those issues, review them, and provide some feedback. The page element blocks one is looking really good. The layout relationships one needs in-depth reviews, both in functionality and in code. Reference module is the other item that is slated for 1.70, and work on the reference module is currently happening in the contrib project, Backdrop contrib/reference. I don't believe there's any updates to report this week either. So status there is go check out that module and actually use it and report back any feedback that you have. And we still have outstanding issues regarding upgrade paths, I think being a primary issue for moving that into core. That's it. There's also the 1.7 issue tracker. You can just check out the 1.70 milestone for a bunch of other items that are kind of wish list items for the next minor release. that's it as far as updates for Backdrop CMS Core go. Next up on the agenda is we have just a general discussion and open Q&A. If you guys have anything that you guys would like to bring up that was not mentioned on this call, now's the time. No? Okay.
I would like to say thank you to Tom for working on the newsletter.
Yeah, actually, the newsletter was great. I didn't even realize it came through because it got filed away in my social tab in Gmail. But when I actually looked at it, I was like, oh, this looks amazing. It's our best newsletter to date, I think.
Well, thank you.
As far as structure and content. So it looked great.
Not a problem.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll talk to you guys again next week, and we'll see you guys online.
Bye, everyone.
Luke didn't get it.
I think my browser's dead. Does anyone else have the ability to stop the broadcast?
No, I'll just hang up.
That's what they will Hangouts for. You hang out.
We'll try. I am not sure I can hang up. Firefox, what are you doing?